Alright guys, just gonna wait to get some people in here, just get everything set up. I literally just got back from the gym. Literally the timing could not have been worse. Literally, I had a workout from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, my time. 12:57, I'm walking into the gym, get the announcement, so we're just gonna wait a little bit, and we'll get on, and once everyone gets on, I'm gonna make sure people know we're going live on Twitter. Alright, we are officially live, folks. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to talk about. Obviously, the videos for today are on hold because we got some stuff that came out today with the Jaguars. Again, I wish I was live sooner. I would have been live earlier if it wasn't for the fact that I was literally working out. And I had a trainer. Otherwise, if I didn't have a trainer, I would just sprint right back. I would have sprinted right back. If I didn't have a trainer, I would have sprinted right back. I would have gone back in the car and driven right back. It was like the worst possible time. Literally the worst possible time for the news to happen in terms of timeliness. But better late than never. In one of the busiest days ever. Mike Starr's been for 17 months now. I guess the J9 is Baalke about since I'm not. I'm most definitely not. Yeah, no, I'm Mountain Time. I'm Mountain Time. Not Pacific Time, I'm Mountain Time. I'm Mountain Time. So let's talk. Let's talk about whatever the hell just happened in Jacksonville. Let's talk. So, first off, thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to be live tonight for the High Point game against USC Upstate at 7 o'clock. And Gio gets here at 9 o'clock. So, let's talk about this. How it got to this point was ridiculous. The Jaguars are the most dysfunctional organization in North American sports. They're the most dysfunctional organization in the NFL. The fact that it came to this is insanity. Everyone knew in 2022, when we hired the first coach with Doug Peterson, no one's going to want to come with Trent Baalke as GM. No one's going to want to come with Trent Baalke. That's why we didn't get anyone the first year, even though we were the first team to fire. We're the last team to hire. Because Doug Pearson was the only guy that wanted to come because he needed a job. Dark Max, you're under the guards here. Appreciate you, man, tuning in. Appreciate you. As a member, get a lot of cool perks. Same video members on the Q&A stream. So you use emoji in the chat. Updating the end of the video script for the next video. So if you don't see your name in the end of the script or the end of the video, it's coming out tomorrow. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you so much, Darth Magus. Which game do you want me to do for You Make the Call? Which best game do you want? Appreciate you, man. So that happens, and we got Bogan with a $5. I don't know what currency that. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Romanian dollar. I think that's the first ever Romanian currency I've gotten on this stream. That's the first ever Romanian currency. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you a ton. That's the first ever Romanian currency I ever got on stream. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So, with Baalke, we told you this a while ago, that Baalke was not going to get anyone. No one's going to come to Jacksonville. It's the least attractive job. And sure enough, no one comes to Jacksonville. Ben Johnson had to be basically pressured by his agent to at least accept an interview. He wanted nothing to do with the Jaguars, so they kept Baalke. Also, we had Liam Cohen, who wanted the job, had a great interview, and then the same thing that happened with Byron Leftwich 3 years ago. Like, yeah, I'm not working with Baalke. I didn't realize Baalke was going to be a part of this. I'm not working with Baalke. It took everyone declining. Appreciate you, Bogan. Appreciate you. It took everyone declining for Khan to be like, wait a second. You're telling me everyone after 3 years, 4 years was right? You're telling me that maybe I was wrong? The whole process made no sense. In terms of, you say on stream in the Zoom call that Baalke could get fired if a coach comes in and says, I'm not working with Baalke. Then you wait for that coach to pull his name out of the search to fire Baalke. It makes no sense to me how it took that long. The way the Jags went about this was shambolic. It never should have come to this point. The Jaguars should have cleaned house. We also some news from Rick Stroud. The contract that Liam Cohen with the Bucs OC is not signed yet. Cohen has not signed the new contract yet for the Bucs. Cohen has not signed the contract yet in Tampa. So, am I holding out hope? I don't know who would want to come to Jacksonville. I don't know why if I'm Cohen I want to come to Jacksonville. Like, this is the way you run your organization? Yeah, no thanks. I'll just wait for Bowles to be fired and I'll be the coach in waiting. But there is a chance. I want it to happen. Do I think it's going to happen? No. But he has not signed the contract yet as the OC in Tampa. The fact that it came to this point is ridiculous. You needed to just fire Baalke and fire Peterson at the same time, clean house, and you become the number one search. Right, he can still join Jacksonville. He still can, because it's a promotion. He can put his name back in the ring if he wants. Because you would, if you had your house cleaned, clean house is the number one job. You'd rather be strung to that than a lame duck GM or something like that. There's only two places that clean house: the Jets and the Jaguars. Jags are way more attractive destination, or would have been. And then you don't clean house. You keep Baalke. Then everyone leaves. Ben Johnson says no. Aaron Glenn says no, essentially, and you have Liam Cohen basically pull his name out before the second interview. He said no. He basically was like, I'm not taking a head coaching job, even though it's the only job on the board, because I don't want to be in Jacksonville and work under Baalke. And it finally took 4 years for Khan to do the thing. It took 4 years to do the thing. I don't know what happens at this point now. I don't know if we start from scratch with the coaching search, if we get the GM before we get the head coach, and then we just stall for a little bit. I mean, this is shambolic. I'm happy that we fired Baalke. Having said, let's make it very clear. Baalke being gone is incredible. Baalke being gone is fantastic. It never should have come to this point. He should have been gone the literal moment that Peterson was fired, and you clean house. I mean, he should have been gone long before that. With his free agency class, the way he feuds with people, just everything. His reputation over a decade. I mean, the man held a grudge against Michigan and didn't draft Michigan players after Harbaugh left. After his feud with Harbaugh, he didn't draft a single Michigan player. The reason why was because of that. I mean, Baalke was a child running a team. A child who somehow was able to strong arm Rashad Khan. It also shows, it also shows that Shad Khan has no idea what he's doing. The fact that it took this many people to say no for him to finally realize. Honestly, at this point, I'm resigned to McCarthy. Honestly, at this point, you know what? Screw it. McCarthy can call an offense. He sucks at in-game management. I'm at the point now where, you know what? I'd rather McCarthy than a lot of the guys on the list, as much as I do not like him. Hopefully we can get Cohen back in. Now that Baalke's gone. Hopefully we can get Cohen back in the mix. I don't know if we can. Because it just shows the dysfunction that is prevalent in the organization. I mean, the Jags are a mess. The fact that this many guys said no, and only then, well, still then he didn't do it, because that was in 2022 that many guys said no. Now you missed out on the best candidates, because you want to keep Baalke, and then you fired him 3 weeks later, which makes no sense to me in the timing whatsoever. Makes no sense in the timing. And then apparently the statement that Khan put out, if you look at the statement, yeah, I think Brady's, I think it's going to be Salah. I really think it's going to be Salah. But the fact that he had several discussions with Baalke this week, so why would you have the discussions this week and not the previous few weeks? Why would you wait this long? I think this was a panic move, which shouldn't be a panic move. It shouldn't be a panic move. Like, this should have been done a long time ago. But it's basically a panic move by Shad Khan admitting, oh crap, people don't really want to work with Baalke. I'm screwed. I'm screwed. It shows the dysfunction. I don't think things are ever going to change as long as Khan's running the team. Like, the problem is that the cancer is still there. The cancer is still in Jacksonville. Baalke was part of it, and Baalke needed to go. We all know that. Believe me, do not confuse what I'm saying with Baalke should have stayed. Baalke needed to go a long time ago. I'm glad he's fired. I am happy he's out, that he can't screw up this free agency period, that he can't screw up this draft, and that we're going to be starting from scratch. But the cancer is still there. The cancer in Jacksonville is still there. And he's not leaving anytime soon. His family's not leaving anytime soon. The cancer is still there. The cancer in Jacksonville, Shad Khan. This shows how incompetent he is at running a football team. If there was ever a moment that showed it, it was this entire search. This entire search with Shad Khan. With keeping the GM, but then admitting live on stream in the press conference that he would fire the GM if a coach presented a plan. Then you wait for your top target to leave and pull his name out of the search before firing him. So you missed out on everyone. You missed out on your whatever would be the top GMs. I don't know if we're going to hire a GM. We probably just promote from within because Khan doesn't want to do two searches. When's the last time he did two searches outside 2013? He's never done two searches at the same time. I mean, Khan just runs a clown show. He runs a dysfunctional organization that makes no sense. I'm just glad that Baalke's gone. Do I have any faith in the Jags to get it right? No. Obviously, if you get Cohen, all's forgiven. If you get Cohen, all's forgiven. If you get Cohen, all's forgiven. But, like, it's like when Doug Pearson got fired. It's like, I can't be happy about Doug because Baalke stayed. And, like, here, like, I should be celebrating. And I am. But I can't be, like, through the moon ecstatic because... I can't be through the moon ecstatic right now because we missed out on everyone. We missed out on everyone. Unless Cohen gets back in the mix at this point. Unless he decides, you know what? The cancer, one of the cancers is gone. We could do that. Yeah, I don't know who the GM is going to be. Ben Johnson's fine. Ben Johnson, I think, is going to have for Chicago. Yeah, I don't know who I want next as the GM. I have honestly no clue. John with the 10, appreciate you, man. Cheers for our future. Yes, bonus for having no GM is better than Baalke. You said it, man. You said it. You said it. Like, I have no clue where the Jags are. Appreciate the tenor, man. Appreciate the tenor. It's about time. About time. Way too long. It took way too long to do this. It took way too long to do this. It took way too long to fire Baalke. It's bittersweet. Yeah, it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet because it never should come to this point. Never should come to this point whatsoever. Yeah, Glenn's good hire for the Jets, I think. I think Glenn's good hire. You know, anyone wants to donate for him to call, just shout out what game you want. Shout out what game you want. Benjamin Baalke 19, yes. I buy it. I buy it. Yeah, so, Jeff, if you want a game, let me know. No teams even want Cohen to say, so when you say all the coverage candidates are gone? Well, the Jaguars' top candidate. I said the Jaguars' top candidate. That's what I mean. The Jaguars' top candidate was Cohen. The Jaguars' top guy was Cohen. In terms of the guys, like all the guys that are in the final round of interviews, Graham, Saleh, and Cohen, none of them are getting interviewed elsewhere. None of them are getting interviewed elsewhere. Cohen was the top guy. Apparently he had a great interview the first time around. It went past midnight. The interview went past midnight. It ran super late. The Jaguars were stunned by this, apparently. The Jags were stunned. Yeah, it's been a crazy 5 hours in Jags history. No preference? All right, all good, man. All good. We'll just split down the middle then. We'll split 3 ways down the middle. We'll split 3 ways. Appreciate you. So, like, it never should have come to this point. It never... I don't know who I want as GM yet. I don't know who I want as GM. Yeah, I'll go into the Bengals as DC. Good move. Good move. Christopher Triff, retires. I'm going to say fiction. Let's say fiction. No, look, I'm happy about firing. I'm just, the process that it got there was insane. Yes, his friend because Cohen withdrawn? Pretty much. I think Khan realized, oh crap, no one wants to work for the Jaguars. No one wants to work for the Jaguars. He won the worst starts in history? He's not a bad person, so I would say no, but he's incompetent. Yeah, this is basically a panic move after Cohen withdrew. Again, I'm happy that he's gone. Don't mistake that. I'm happy it's gone. The problem is that for the Jags GM, I don't know if we're going to hire the coach or the GM first. I don't know who comes first, the coach or the GM. Who's coming first, coach or GM? Come on, the tour, Jets will hire Glenn. They did, but I think it's a good move. I think it's a solid move. Look, one bad game, it's not going to mean a whole lot. It's a solid move. Like, I don't know who's coming first. There's no reason to talk about why right now, like, who would be the GM. Especially because the thing with GM is that when Khan put out the statement, he said nothing about looking for a new GM. He said nothing about that. What already made for 1 month now? He's got one to fire him first. I'm one of the same thing. I'm one of the same thing. McDaniels, new SC, I mean, I hate it. How many reviews can you get? Appreciate it, Warren Davey. Like, if you look at the statement, I'm going to show you the statement. This is why I'm not talking about GM. Because I don't think anything's changing. I don't think anything's going to change. Let me show you the statement. This is why I'm not really talking about GM. Because the statement... Hang on. Let me get screen capture. Hang on. Here's the statement the Jags put out. This is why I'm not really talking about GM right now. Following the sell discussions with Baalke this week, we both arrived at the conclusion our mutual best interests to respectively separate effective immediately. Trent leaves us with my deepest appreciation for his efforts the past 2 years. Ethan Waugh will serve as the interim general manager and play an important role with others as we continue the process of interviewing candidates to serve as our new head coach. So Khan never said anything about interviewing GMs. He never said anything about the search for GMs effective immediately. He never said anything about that. That's why I'm not talking about it just yet. Because Ethan Waugh got promoted in Jacksonville to the GM. So that's why I'm not really talking a lot about GMing yet. Because based on the statement, if they were looking for a new GM, if they were going to conduct an actual search for a GM, they wouldn't have said that. On a fan said, I'm shocked Baalke's gone. Yeah, the timing makes no sense. I'm shocked he's gone. I'm happy. But at the same time, it's like, what the heck are we doing in Jacksonville? What the heck? You wait till Cohen's gone before you make the move. It's crazy. Looking for head coach? Wouldn't mind it. Is Ethan Waugh good? I have no clue. I'd rather just clean house. Like, the thing is that with a statement like that, McDaniels, I mean, again, McDaniels, he's been there so many times. Just get some new blood in there. It's still the old regime. But the thing with Ethan Waugh, again, I don't know a whole lot about him. I would rather just clean house and not have any ties to the previous regime. But the reason I'm not talking about GM is because you would think in the statement that Khan would say we're looking at a new GM effective immediately. You would think that. Mom, to one back in the playoffs next to you a choker? How? I mean, after you see you, appreciate you. How does it make you a choker? One bad game in the playoffs, it does not make you a choker. One bad game in the playoffs does not make you a choker. One bad game? Tell me one bad game makes you a joker. So, Tom Brady, 2009 against the Ravens, wildcard round. He played like crap. He's a joker, by that logic. Rob with a tour, which game do you want? Bittersweet Symphony, Less Life. Yeah, I was listening to my Will to Live this morning. Also, Trevor Lawrence with the Jags for 3 years. No, we got a quarter billion reasons not to. He's got a quarter billion not to. Which game do you want, Rob? Appreciate you, man. So again, like, you would think in a statement like this, you fire the GM, you talk in the statement about you're going to hire a GM. You're on the search for the GM. But he doesn't say that. You would think Khan would say, we are looking for a new GM effective immediately. Joe Brady, wouldn't mind him. I guess he's the top guy at this point if we can't get Liam going. Go on to if it's your only one, it means you can't handle the pressure. It wasn't his only one. Did you forget last year? They were literally in the playoffs last year. Which game do you want, Rob? Appreciate you, man. FGCU, all right. So 22 AW, that's the Jags and Shaw dies. Oh, yeah, no. No, look, I think Khan's incompetent. I think Shad's incompetent. I think Tony's a hothead. It's different sides of the same coin. Tony, I think, at least knows football, but he's a hothead. He's a hothead that will alienate a crap ton of people. and it'll be a nightmare. Shad, he's pretty laid back. But, yeah, Cons will just know how to meme well. Exactly. Head straight about Chelsea, heard the news. Appreciate you, Detroit. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Bengals CDC Golden. I mean, he did a good job at Notre Dame, so you got to replace Lou. I like it. Like you would think, what fall for great sports? 2017 and 2022, easily 2017. That was either GM search in 26, maybe. I don't know. So that's why I'm not talking about GM. We're just strictly talking about Baalke getting fired and what's next coaching wise, because the Jags have made no indication. It's a position that is not available right now. It seems like Ethan Waugh will be the guy. You also have to remember too, that you're not firing scouts in the middle of the season. I like Lou a lot. He's got to get a safety, though. Got to get a safety. You get like a guy like Caleb Downs in the draft. You got a guy like Downs, I mean, you could be good. Get a safety, you're fine. Because it's like talking about a position that's not available right now. And the thing with scouts is that you're not firing your scout in the middle of the... He's not going to get the call this year. I hope he does at some point, though. He's not going to call this year, though. Hope he makes the final 10. I just want Fred Taylor to make the final 10. But the thing with the scouts, no one fires scouts midway through the season. You don't fire scouts before the draft is over. When a new GM comes in, the new GM will have a scouting department and then fire him. So my guess is that Waugh will be the GM for at least the next 4 months. If the Jags hire a new GM, I wouldn't think it would be until May. I really don't think it'd be till May. Because there's no real point at this point to hiring a new GM, because the first year of a new GM, you're based off of other teams. You're based off scout reports that are not your team's own, or that are not your regime's own. It's like I'm working. Josh Jones is fine. Yeah, Josh Jones is fine. It's like if I take a job and I'm working with if I take a job and the notes that I give for a presentation are not my own. They're someone else's notes that I'm presenting. Wouldn't make a lot of sense. Come on with the note too. Appreciate you, man. I just choked in the 23 NFC Championship and the Minneapolis Miracle. Yeah, but that wasn't his only job. You said it was his only playoff game. It wasn't. And like, do you think the DB's coach is calling the plays? Do you think the defensive backs coach is calling the plays? How does that make sense? Worst chance to win a Super Bowl? Ooh, I don't know. Worst GM. Technically Jerry Jones. I guess technically Jerry. It did some month ago. Ben Johnson with the coach. Yeah. At least do this like 3 weeks ago. Do it 3 weeks ago. Yeah, like now if I broke after all the good coaches are gone. Yeah. You know, they're not going to trade downs. They're not trading downs. Saints new head coach, I'm going to say McCarthy. I said no for nothing. No, not really. Because you lost out on Cohen. You lost out all the top guys. You lost out on Johnson, lost out on Cohen because you didn't make the move when you should have. Better late than never. Look, let's call for what it is. Better late than never. Do not, look, compared to where I was 3 hours ago, this is really, really good. This was a whole lot different 3 hours ago. Yeah, Joe Brady would be great. Yeah, Joe Brady is probably the top name available now for the Jaguars. Hopefully, for me at least. If you can't get Cohen to get it to reconsider. He's probably the top name available. But the thing with the, obviously, would I rather this or would I rather have Baalke there? Of course I'd rather have this. It never should have come to this point. Peter with a 5 or 7.9 for the FGCU game. Is this how it's going to go to the rest of the coaching staff? Well, I mean, all the coaches are fired in Jacksonville. You don't keep the same coaches, so everyone's gone. I'm not sure how many people are coming back in Jacksonville. The new coach decides who the staff's going to be. Again, Peterson's out. So, Cohen's top guy for another team. Cohen's not top candidate. I meant when I say top candidate, I mean the Jaguars' top candidate. So when I say that, I'm referring to the Jaguars' top candidate. And every indication from people said that Cohen was the Jaguars' top candidate. Belichick bounced $1 million. That's nothing. When I talk about top candidate, I mean the Jaguars' top candidate was Cohen. It was Cohen. So it really just a question of, can you lure him back in? And if you can't, where do you go from that point? How'd you rate supposed to get a trash show C, bring back Josh Allen's turnovers? Cohen came with that grave, no team won him. That's not true. No one wanted Canales. I think you would say that Canales had a great first year in Carolina. He developed. No one was talking about Canales. Just because no one wants him doesn't mean they're can't be that great. That doesn't mean that at all. You have to remember Canales. Was anyone talking about Canales for any team? I was said Luke Cohen, a guy that no other NFL team was interested in. Well, he was my top guy, besides Ben Johnson. It was 1A and 1B. I love Cohen a lot. I love the schemes he runs. I love the blocking he runs. He got the most out of the Bucs offense. How's it going, Tim? Welcome in. Welcome in. Like, just because no one's interested, that doesn't mean, Bill Walsh, yeah. But why am I upset? Because I like the guy a lot. I'm upset about losing Cohen potentially because I like the guy a lot. He was my top choice besides Ben Johnson. It was 1A and 1B. That's why I'm upset about it. I said it from the start. It's not like I've been very high on Cohen from like day one. Yeah, Jags, they sort of did a good thing. I mean, they came around to the weirdest timeline. Canales sucks. I mean, look, he made Bryce Young go from the biggest bust in NFL history to actually probably a pretty good quarterback. Like, for what he was supposed to do in terms of Bryce Young, he did a heck of a job. Raiders, who should they hire? Probably like Joe Brady, Tom Munkin, something like that. Who are the Jags going to hire? I think it's going to be Saleh. I think Saleh was the number 2 option behind Cohen. And then I'm going to get Robert Saleh. You also remember, too, why I'm a Civil Dakota guy that no other NFL team interested in. The other 2 guys, well, keep in mind, the other 2 guys are Patrick Graham and Robert Saleh. No one else is interested in those 2 guys either. So by that logic, and again, I like Cohen a lot, but by that logic, it's the lesser of 3 evils. John Spidek is a new GM. I like it a lot. I like it. Bucs have drafted very well, though. They constructed pretty good rosters. Thank Cohen for walking away. Oh, no. Cohen was Cohen put Cohen on the part of the Jaguars for getting Baalke fired. This doesn't happen if Cohen doesn't walk away. It's bizarre that I came to this point. But again, I really wanted Cohen. Yeah, only irritated. We'll see how. Hire the tough guy DC as head coach like us, Bradley. Yeah, that worked out so well the last time. Bring us Spelling Brack. Bring him back. No, Trevor for the number 2 pick? No, that would make no sense. Solid for an Irish DC. It's either going to be he's going to DC with San Fran, or he's going to be the DC in San Fran, or he's going to be, probably Brady was recent, yeah. Or he's going to be the head coach in Jacksonville. Yeah, worse for Baalke can fire another team with Walton, since it seems like Nora Bailey, the 10 years of bad coach, and GM as well. I don't think anyone's going to want Baalke. Miles of GM, let's go. I don't think any other team is wanting Baalke. I think the Jags would like team dumb enough to do it. A mid-coordinator? No, a mid-coordinator. Tampa was great this year on offense. How do you call him a mid-coordinator? This year Tampa was great on offense. Even when they lost pieces. I mean, that 1-2 punch with Irvin, they used Bucky Irving so well this year. He also 5-12 at a bottom defense. Yeah, they improved a lot, though, from the previous year. Obviously, look, do I agree with him keeping Avero? Obviously not. But in terms of developing the offense, he did what he was supposed to do. Cohen was not good for the Rams, but he was good for the Bucs. But you have to also remember, too. Mike Vrabel is one of those guys that he was dead last his one season. No one wanted Vrabel, besides the Titans. No one wanted Vrabel. He was dead last in defense with the Texans. That worked out pretty well. So just because you're the hot name doesn't mean that that you're going to be good. Just because you're not a hot name doesn't mean you're going to be bad. It doesn't mean, yeah, Joe Brady's probably the top name that I would want at this point if we can't get Cohen. Right, hang on. Jonathan Jones just tweeted something. Their plan was like, yeah, but he lost Evans and Godwin. Like, that offense could have collapsed, and it didn't. Okay, so according to Jonathan Jones, with Baalke out, no one wanted Urban. The Chargers wanted him. What are you talking about? The Chargers wanted Urban Meyer. What are you talking about? The Chargers wanted Urban. It was a bidding war. It was a bidding war with Urban Meyer. The Chargers wanted him. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? How's it going, Jack? I appreciate you. Yeah, no, they're literally... You can't say that. The Chargers wanted him. But yeah, so Jonathan Jonas tweeted this. With Baalke out, and knowing how interested the franchise has been in Liam Cohen, it will not be shocking to see the Jaguars make another run at the Bucs offensive coordinator. They make him tell them no twice. All right. So the Jags could make another run at Cohen. He has not signed the contract yet. Again, this is all a very fluid situation. Yeah, Urban, that would have been a nightmare with there. Would have been a nightmare. Yeah, that ChatGPT was great last time with George Carlin. That was great. 108 watch. Yeah. Will Ryan take NFL consideration? I don't think so. I don't think so. Byron Leftwich for head coach? No. 3 years ago, I would have been fine with it, but absolutely not anymore. No, he's been out of the league. We saw that he was a Brady merchant, and besides Brady, he's done nothing. So, yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in for the stream. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're going to be live for a little bit, talking about just the breaking news. Trent Baalke fired in Jacksonville. Jaguars, they're not hiring a GM. My guess, again, with GM, there's no reason to hire one at this point. There's no reason to hire one at this point in terms of you lost out on a lot of good guys at GM. No reason to hire one at this point because you're still working with the scouts. You're gonna hire one in May, or you're gonna just keep Ethan. And Jacarvin gets a membership. Appreciate you, man. Get you on the Maris game. Johnny getting one as a member, get a lot of cool perks. Same thing as Twitter members. Okay, I assume I can use motives in the chat. Appreciate you, man. Why I take the Jags this long? Because they're incompetent. I think Shah Khan was clueless. I think Shah Khan genuinely believed that, you know what, maybe people could work for Baalke. Baalke's not that bad. He drafted Brian Thomas last year. Baalke won with, oh, you want dogs versus dogs? Hang on, my bad on that one. My bad. There we go. He thought, you know what, Baalke made a Super Bowl in San Francisco. Baalke has been around for a decade. Baalke is good. Baalke is a good drafter. Baalke is a solid GM. People will work for him. And I think he finally came to the realization after the botched search in 2022, and after this botched search, that, you know what, maybe people don't want to work for him. Maybe people don't want to work for him. Brady Leftwich more blame for the Bucs offense. I think it's a bit of both. Best hiring, I would say Ben Johnson of the Bears. Ben Johnson of the Bears, I would say. It's the best one. Ben Johnson Bear. You know, Ryan doesn't get consideration. I don't think so. I praise Shaq Khan and Tony Khan, the GM. Oh, God. You know, he's probably better than Baalke. Khan at least had a say in, like, getting undrafted free agents to come to Jacksonville. They got some pretty decent ones. I should be the GM. Can't be worse. Can't be worse. I wouldn't not draft Georgia players. Like Baalke refused to draft Michigan players. When Baalke's so bad, he basically feuded with everyone. He was a rat. Baalke was, well, besides the fact he couldn't sign free agents to save his life. Baalke couldn't sign free agents. The free agents he signed were pretty crap. Look at this last class. The top two guys were Gabe Davis and Ronald Darby. I think that says everything you need to know in terms of the free agency. He botched the whole Josh Hines Allen franchise tag situation. He didn't talk to Josh Hines Allen until the first week of free agency. He didn't talk to him about the Pro Bowl. The idea was you sign him to a long-term extension that you could franchise someone else. But then you had to franchise Josh Hines Allen because he couldn't get the deal done. So it resulted in Calvin Ridley having to walk. Now, it ended up working out in the end because he drafted Brian Thomas. You basically fell backwards into getting BTJ. Baalke's run so many coaches out. Baalke has run a crap ton of coaches out. He feuds with them a ton. He always finds a way to win a power struggle. Also, he has no idea how to trade. Baalke trading is terrible. Well, I'll get to that in a second, Sports. I'll get to that. Get to that in a second. The thing with Baalke also, you look at the trades. He always could trade down, but they could never trade up. The last 2 years, he acquired so many picks, and then just blew them all on day 3. They didn't make the roster. Of course they didn't. They didn't make the roster. And it's like, why didn't you trade up? It's like, we couldn't find a trade partner to trade up. But it's 2 straight years that happened. Every other team could find a way to trade up, but not you. It's like, you just are bad. Yeah, he's got a very bad reputation. A very bad reputation. Yeah, how many GMs are going to want to go to a team where they get fired with the drop of the hat even after supposedly securing the job? See, I think it's the opposite. I think you look at what Shad Khan is as an owner. He's had 2 GMs in his tenure. 2 GMs. He had David Caldwell, who was there for 8 years and had 1 winning record, and Trent Baalke, who made the playoffs 1 time. I think Jacksonville, what this says, if you can get in Khan's ear, as long as you are not a horrible person, and you can get in Khan's ear into the hair naked manager, I mean, Hack was pretty crap everywhere he's been. Pearson worked out for a year, yeah, but then he was like, I want Press Taylor to be doing stuff. I want Press Taylor to be doing stuff, and that didn't work out. Rob with 2, Jed York is Levister out there. Oh, you know he is. He's like, oh, who could have seen this coming? Who could have seen this one coming except for literally everyone? Oh, man. But I think what this says is, like, look, as long as I can get in Khan's ear, if I can just be a decent person and do a halfway competent job and not alienate anyone along the way, I have a job security for life. Was I optimistic about Baalke in 2020? God, no. God, no, I was optimistic about Baalke in 2020. Not at all. After what he did in San Fran, of course not. Shotgun 2 next guy refused to fire Pearson mid-season, refused to fire Baalke on Black Monday. Yeah. The thing with Khan, again, I think Khan's a good owner to work for as a GM because you've got unlimited job security. You've got unlimited job security at that point. If you're a GM, again, I don't think they're going to hire a GM until May. I think Ethan Wallace can be the GM, at least until the draft, and then that happens. And then after that, then the new GM comes in, cleans house with the front office and the scouting department, everything. Now, should we hire Baalke? Yes. Yes, they should. But the thing with where was I going with that? But, yeah, we're not going to hire GM. But the thing is that the Jaguars are probably a great spot to be a GM in. Because as long as you're not a horrible person, as long as you are not, like, the worst of all time, you're safe for life. Trent Baalke had multiple times where he picked first. He had 5 seasons in Jacksonville. 3 of them they were picking in the top 5. And he was still safe. How many GMs get to pick 3 times in the top 5 in 5 years and still be safe? How many GMs, as was the case with Dave Caldwell, get to have 7 seasons of double-digit losses and still be safe? It's one of those things where if you are a GM, we're seeing all the time, probably Fitterer. Honestly, probably Fitterer. He did nothing right. Fitterer did nothing right. Coleman Bears shot for front office spot in Duval. No. Coughlin nowhere near the front office. No. We tried that before. Didn't work. Tried that before. He alienated everyone. We tried that before. Then 25% of all NFLPA complaints across the entire league came from Jacksonville. Because he was running just insane ship and basically ran Ramsey out of Jacksonville. It's like, as long as you have a pulse, you're safe for at least 5 years in Jacksonville if you're a GM. Yeah, Baalke's job security. Everyone wants it. Yeah, exactly. Bingo. Like, Jacksonville's it's probably a bad spot to be head coach, but it's a horrible spot it's a good spot to be a GM. Gene for the John. It's like, well, we had both. We had Itzik at one point, but he was like the cap guy. They're both bad. I'd probably say, yeah, I mean, Itzik was awful. GM, Fitterer, he was the Panthers. The previous GM. Matt Millen, awful. I can't say he's the worst of all time. If you draft a Hall of Famer, you can't be the worst of all time. Over the entire history of the NFL, if you draft a Hall of Famer, you can't be the worst. He was awful. The last 3 years pre-firing look bad now. No, it doesn't. It still does not. They are still poorly run. Nothing changes. The fact that it got to that point. Look, would I rather have Baalke as a GM or Baalke as no GM? Even if it got to this point, Baalke as no GM. Absolutely. I'd rather have right now at 5:16 Eastern time than 12:16 Eastern time. I'd rather have that than what we had this morning. Having said that, it never should have gotten to that point. It should have been like any competent organization. All right, you fire Baalke, you fire Peterson, and you go from there. I could draft Calvin Johnson. I mean, Calvin was great, but there are other guys who could have chosen. You could have drafted a tackle, though it would have been Joe Thomas. I mean, it wasn't like the consensus number 2. And Meyer came back. I mean, he's not coming back. Yeah, the real fire after watching coaches. Yeah, the way it got to that point. Jags should trade for Tomlin. No. Jimmy Charles at Beathard? Well, Beathard was great in Washington. Beathard's a Hall of Fame GM with Washington. He did a great job. Beathard, obviously with the Chargers, it was crap. But he's not the worst of all time because he was great in Washington. He was a Hall of Fame GM in Washington. Yeah, the one this morning where I bashed me for saying Baalke. Well, because that was... Well, what I said, when I said the Baalke bashed the Baalke with the media, I said bash like with the media, the thing about that, they said he was getting fired Black Monday. They were wrong on that. They said he was getting fired Black Monday. Said he was going to get fired Black Monday. Look, no one's denying that Matt Millen was terrible, but I think if you draft a Hall of Famer, you cannot be the worst of all time. Why not trade for Tomlin? Well, because you probably have to give a draft pick to do it. As an end of the today, no, this guy took priority. We're going to stream for the High Point game in 90 minutes time. But yeah, Jaguars, trading for Tomlin, the problem is that first you have to give a draft pick. Probably a pretty high draft pick. Usually a team like the Steelers is not going to give up a guy like Tomlin unless it's for a first round pick. Might want to do that. Also, Tomlin, in-game management skills, not great. I just think in some ways the game has passed him by. In some ways. The game has passed him by. I'm not crazy about... I think watching Tomlin's in-game management over the past 5 years, it's deteriorated a lot. Look, you'd be trading for a coach, probably give him a first-round pick, that hasn't won a game since the Obama administration in the playoffs. Well, look, if Tomlin was a free agent, if Tomlin was a free agent, that's different. This is, do I want a young, up-and-coming offensive guy or trade a first-round pick for a guy trade a first, like, that's different. That's different. Yeah, hire a 20-year-old can't be worse than Baalke. Worst coach GM? Bill O'Brien? Bill O'Brien probably the worst. Yeah, a bit too little too late. J.K. Cook? He was really good. J.K. Cook was really, really good. He's up there. Yeah, the obvious burner accounts. Yeah, that was the other thing with Baalke with the reputation. Obviously, a first round 2 ones for paying. They won that trade. Yeah, but that's different. That's a bit different. Because Sean Payton had won playoff games the last 2 administrations for president. And also, Sean Payton can develop a quarterback. Mike Tomlin, what has he shown in terms of developing quarterbacks? Robert Saleh, I would not want Robert Saleh. I'm resigned to Saleh. I feel like it's going to be Saleh. January, yes, I am. Video today? No video today. Was going to get a video out, but obviously this kind of took priority. We're going to get a lot of videos. Coming out. Also, remember, the Broncos gave a first round, but it wasn't a top 5 pick. The Broncos gave a pick, it wasn't top 5. If they end up becoming a defensive-minded coach, up and coming, like if it was Aaron Glenn, yeah, but it's obviously he's with the Jets now, so. Yeah, Cook the Center was such a downgrade. It was. Jets for 2025 third round pick and 2026 second round pick. I mean, that's a lot, though. That's a lot for a coach. Jay Newsvid? I mean, I literally just got back, so we'll see. Probably before I get on for the High Point game. Sean Payton said, never know Corey is gifted Breeze. I mean, there were a lot of question marks with Breeze. There were some question marks with him. Obviously, what he did was great, but there were some question marks. Yeah, Jags are in, quite a large jar of pickles. They are. They are in a very large jar of pickles right now. A victory drink? No. It's one of those weird things where it's like, I'm happy, but I don't know. But, like, it shows the promise of the organization. This should have been done a while ago. Yeah, but Breeze played way better in New Orleans than he did in San Diego. Way better. Shots got bring stars like he's too nice. I think he's just nice and clueless. Jags search for GM in 2026. I think so, yeah. I think this year's going to be Waugh. And then in May, they'll start doing that. They'll start doing that. Matt Millie, he drafted Calvin Johnson. He drafted Calvin Johnson. Excuse for not one, Tomlin doesn't hold water. But also remember, too, Tomlin's an offensive guy. I want an offensive guy. I want an offensive-minded guy. I want an offensive-minded guy. You know, it should have been done a long time ago. Should have been done a long time ago. Jags get Robert Saleh. I think it's going to be one of those two. It's going to be one of those two. I think it's going to be one of those two. I would say... I think it's going to be Saleh. I really want Cohen. I think it's going to be Saleh. Well, if it's a good GM? Well, you won't know that. You won't know that this year. Unless you do a Herschel Walker robbery trade. You're not going to know that. You're probably just going to clean house. Probably clean house and then May. Well, clean house in May. If best player draft was for Spectre, yeah. Obviously, my guy helped the Jags get Super Bowl title. I think so. Look, there was no motion this year. The Jags were in the least motion of anyone. It was so predictable. Even Khan said that. Even Khan absolutely said, yeah, Brian is related to Marty. Yes. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Salah's not better than... I never said he was. I don't want Salah. I never said he was. Look, I didn't want Doug Peterson. I don't want Salah. I said I think it's going to be Salah. The number 2 option for the Jaguars is Salah. On their search. 1 was Cohen. 2 was Salah. I don't want Salah. I'm just saying what I think they're going to do. I don't want Salah. Believe me, I don't want him. Salah would be a crap hire. Salah would be a crap hire. Let's not get that up. Let's not mistake that. I said from day one it's going to be Salah. Because it feels like a con move to get a retread coach. And I'm not sure who's going to want to come to Jacksonville. Doesn't mean I want it. That's like saying if I put money in roulette on I put $1,000 on the number 2 in roulette, I think I'm going to lose $1,000. Does that mean I want to lose $1,000? Of course not. Rather than Jags to the cons? A lot of people. A lot of people. Are the Jags played to make a splash higher to the crap? I think to some extent. Urban scared him. Because I think what happened was Shah Khan was okay. I want to have someone control the football side of things. So I don't really know a whole lot about football. So they went for Tom Coughlin. That didn't work out. A lot of complaints. So it's like, okay, we're going to get Urban Meyer at this point. He's going to control everything. And that didn't work out. So then it's like, oh, crap. I don't know what to do. We're just going to keep Baalke. Yeah, that was insane when the Post did that. Yeah, the Post has gone downhill. Right, Cohen's not signed the contract yet. Pete Carroll's out there. He's too old. Carroll's way too old. Leave him stay with the Bucs? I don't know about that. I don't know. He hasn't signed the contract yet. Now, again, I think he will stay with the Bucs. I don't know why he would want to come to this dysfunctional organization. But the reason he didn't want to come to Jacksonville was because Baalke was there. Stuff has changed. He hasn't signed the contract yet. Stuff has changed. So you guys heard the head coach that are available. You can't. Why people say fire Nick? I mean, because his game management skills are terrible. Things on which is dead. It is. Which is dead. Yeah, I think that was the straw that broke Campbell's back, but Cohen could come. Cohen could come to Jacksonville. He doesn't sign the contract, and it's not like you have to trade for him. Again, OC to head coach. You don't have to. You can take the job whenever. When the Bucs hired OC, if Cohen somehow left, probably promote from within. Rex Ryan, God no. It's one of those things with the Jaguars where I don't know what the future holds with Khan as the owner. I'm not optimistic that they're going to get this right, but they at least got some problem out of the building. Well, you can't sign him now because we still have to interview Saleh and Graham for an in-person interview to satisfy the Rooney Rule. So we can't do that yet. Going to no leverage as a non-experienced non-covered coordinator. Do you think the Khan showed too much interest in him so he could pull that crap and go back to Tampa? I mean, apparently the Jags were stunned that Cohen said no. I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I think that was the straw that broke it. think that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Because remember, Leftwich, no one wanted Leftwich 3 years ago besides the Jaguars. They have to re-interview Black Cat. No, they do not. No. They have to do the in-person interview, but they do have to do that. Paying on John Snyder. I think he's overstayed his welcome, but he did a very good job in Seattle. But I think he's overstayed his welcome a tad. Yeah, it might be too late. Yeah, we'll see what happens with the coaching search. Browns, Jets, and Jags. More dysfunctional. It's weird. The Browns make the wrong decisions. The Jets make the wrong decisions. The Jaguars make the right decisions way too late and take the weirdest... They take a Jeremy Bearimy path to get there. Like, the decisions the Jaguars make, like, this was an objectively good decision to fire Baalke. The way it got to that point is asinine. It should have been done years ago. No, Khan's not selling. No way he's selling. His value's increased like 5-fold since buying the team. And just got the new stadium. There's no way. He would pass it down to Tony. That's why we need AW to fail, because we need Tony to just, like, lose money. Yeah, Midway was repeat the question. John Snyder, yeah, great GM at the start. I think he's overstayed his welcome a little bit in Seattle, but obviously can't deny the great job he did for many years. Can't deny the great job he did. Yeah, as long as Woody Johnson's the owner, yeah, I think the Jets are probably the most dysfunctional organization. The Jags are up there. I mean, you have to look at what they did in, like, everyone said in 2022, no one's going to come to Jacksonville if you keep Baalke. And then I was like, bet. And then no one came to Jacksonville. We're the last team to hire. We had to hire Doug Peterson 50 days after the first interview with him. But I'll spend it again for not showing. Jeez. You know, I don't want him. I don't want him in Phoenix. I really don't want him in Phoenix. And then it was like, okay, no one's going to come to Jacksonville this time around if you keep... It's a great vacancy. You got your quarterback. You have no state income tax. No one else is cleaning house besides the Jets. It's a great vacancy. It's the number one vacancy. But you got to get rid of Baalke. And Khan's like, no, he's my guy. He's my guy. And then no one comes. And then Khan's like, oh, crap. Maybe they were right. Joe Brady the Jags? I would like that. I would like that. He's probably, if we can't get Cohen, he's my top guy. If we can't Cohen, he's my top guy. But I think it's going to be Salah. I want Cohen to come. If Cohen comes, you know what? He could go 1-15 or 1-16. Put him in the pride of the Jaguars for firing Baalke and maneuvering that. Yeah. Well, Glenn, another Salah. I mean, they're both defensive guys. I don't see it. I like Glenn a lot. I like the way he's a good leader of men. I never got that vibe with Salah, just listening to him speak. With Glenn, I got that vibe. The owner doesn't know what he was doing. He does not. He does not. Everyone's no chance to see if they keep Rodgers. Well, it's a 5-year contract, so I don't see him getting... I don't see anyone... I'm not really sure anyone would... Rodgers not staying all 5 years. What do you want to recommend for the Jaguars? Again, I don't think with the GM it's going to happen. I think Ethan Walsh is going to stay the GM for the next 4 months. But who would I recommend? I mean, the Eagles front office. Just get someone from the Eagles front office. That's always a pretty solid front office. Harry Glenn 45 points this foul game. He did. That he did. He was playing practice squad guys, but against a top 5 quarterback. Kyle Shanahan he got shut out the final few drives of Super Bowl 51. Blew that game. He's been pretty good in San Fran. Mike Vrabel led the worst defense in the NFL with the Texans. He was pretty good as a Titans head coach. So that's not everything. It's not necessarily everything. It's not everything. Just like the post-merger playoff drought, it could be. Joe Brady, who's he go to? I think he stays in Buffalo or he goes to Jacksonville. I think he stays for one more year, and he's a hot name in 26. Russia retire at this point? He should. Is he going to? I don't think he will. Yeah, we're still not hype on Jaguars, so yes, we are. Yes, we are. We are still doing that. But I just hope that Khan learns the right message from this. I don't know if he did. Well, he was going to be extended. Why wouldn't he be? Why wouldn't Rosen be extended? He's been great. Why wouldn't he be extended? He's built a stacked team. I think that team's the most talented team in football. I think the Eagles are the most talented team in football. There's like no weakness on that team. There's no weakness. Yeah, they'll break the drought. They'll break the drought. Should Trevor sat out more after the ankle injury in 23? In hindsight, yeah. In hindsight. Too many Jags helmets? Well, these are full-size helmets. These are full-size. So when I do the thing, they're the mini helmets. So when I do the winning things, those are autographed. These are the mini ones. So these are like micro helmets. So there's mini and there's micro. You can see they're way smaller when I do that. Kicker is a weakness, yes. This year, everyone realizes Trevor's a bust. But I don't think he can ever be a bust. I don't think Trevor can ever be a bust. I think if you get a second contract, you make a Pro Bowl, I don't think you can be a bust. Now, we could make the argument that this is a make or break year in terms of, is he the franchise guy? Is he the guy that can get you over the hump? Is he injury prone? We can definitely have that discussion after next season. But I think he's done enough to not be a bust. In terms of busting, when I think of busting, I think of like Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, like guys that could not play in the NFL. Guys that were never good. You could say overdrafted. You could say they loved the hype. You could say that. But bust, I think he shed that label. Eagles win a Super Bowl? I got the Chiefs winning. I don't trust anyone in the NFL. I have a long enough memory to not make a mistake like this again. Goes over a bottom 15 owner like Khan. I'd say bottom 5 owner. Trevor Lawrence is one of those guys that, I think is overrated by Jags fans and underrated by the rest of the league. I think Trevor's one of those guys that's overrated by Jaguar fans, underrated by the rest of the league. When I think of bust, you look at Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, that's a different thing. That's a completely different conversation. You should be a star. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. We can have that conversation. But when I think of bust, I don't think of that. I think of a guy like Blaine Gabbert. I think of a guy that literally can't play. That people are calling for his head on a stake. I've seen a lot of busts in Jacksonville. Trevor's not a bust. So it's a Pro Bowl as Tyler Huntley and Mike Barella. Yeah, Mike Barella too. There's been more Pro Bowls than Joe Flacco. He's elite. He's elite. Yeah, obviously, look, Trevor, we can have the conversation about, in that Kyler Murray range. See, in the 8 to 12 range, I would say, I'd say Alex Smith's a good comparison. More physically gifted than Alex Smith, but I'd say it's a good comparison. I think he's in the top 15 range. I'm not sure he's top 10. I'm not sure Trevor's top 10. Top 15? I will say top 15 right now. Say top 15. I would say, we can definitely have that conversation. Right, kickers, Eagles, weakness, but that's the one thing. Yeah, mid doesn't mean bust. Mid means you're fine. Mid means you're fine. Doesn't mean bust, but it means you're fine. Lamar Jackson playoff choker? There's definitely a reputation with him. I can't blame him for the last game. Campbell sucks this year as a bust. Too early. I think I learned my lesson with Bryce Young that until their first contract is done or until they get benched, or until their first contract's up, you can't say guy's a bust. All right, week 1 through Kyler Murray Hall of Famer, week 9 through 17, he's playing Gabbert. He is. Andrew Luck, would he have done as well with first year with Chip Kelly's head coach and didn't get a good outside receiver until year 4? I think so. That first year with Chip Kelly, no one knew how to stop that offense. I think that would have been insane. Right, Lawrence guy needs to change theory every few years like Smith if he doesn't progress enough. Yeah, he might. Matt Jones a bust? Yes. He didn't finish the first contract. Dale Jones in a playoff game makes a huge bust. I don't know about you. I view Jones and Bortles the same way. I view them as very similar. Yeah, Young got benched. And that's why we had the bust conversation, and then he came back. Well, see, the show wasn't a bust. Yeah, just because, right, the Jags gave money to Gabe Davis, so I don't know if that was going to work out. Justin Fields a bust? Yes, Fields a bust. I don't like any players coming out of college, unlike some fans. Well, I get hyped over those guys. Chip Kelly coached long college. I think coaching-wise it could have worked out. Just when he took over the GM role, that's when it got insane. Andrew Luck is never getting into canon. Andrew Luck would never get into canon. There's no chance he's Hall of Famer. Drake May a bust? How? He's played a season. He's looked fine. He's played a season. Picking a bust? Yes. Pickett's a bust. Feels for a quarterback Daniel Jones in every way. I don't know about that. I know Jones had his moments. I mean, Jones had some games. With the Bucks game, the playoff game against the Vikings. I mean, I'm not sure Fields ever had that moment. I'm not sure Fields ever had. How is Andrew Luck not in canon? Because he barely played. He has no accolades. If Luck is in canon, you have to put like 30 quarterbacks in. Brunell needs to be in canon. Phillip Rivers needs to be in canon. John Brody, John Hadel, Darryl LaMonica, Vinny Testaverde needs to be in canon. Matt Ryan needs to be in canon. Like, there's so many guys, if that happens. Like, Luck does not deserve a Hall of Fame. Was he on Hall of Fame trajectory? He was close. He was close. It was close. Biggest strip. I'd argue he's same skew with the classified Daniels. Well, right now, I would say Knicks is better than May, but. Biggest draft bust and free agent bust under Baalke. Draft bust and free. Okay, free agent bust, Ronald Darby. Ronald Darby was crap. Healthy scratched this season. Yeah, Kerry Collins better career left. Yeah, he did. Does Kerry Collins? I don't think so. I don't think so. He's the best rookie quarterback in the last 5 years. He's the best rookie quarterback of all time. J.J. Allen is the best rookie quarterback of all time. What he's doing is unprecedented for rookie quarterbacks. It's not recently biased to say that. Jaden Daniels is the best rookie quarterback of all time. And biggest draft bust under Baalke. Biggest draft bust. Derek Carr? No. Why would he be a bust? Why would he be a bust? Why would a second round pick who played a decade there be a bust? Biggest draft bust by the Jags. His first round was pretty decent. I think the way he went about retirement was dead wrong. I think he had every right to retire. I think the way he went about it was dead wrong. Biggest Jags draft, probably Luke Fortner. Probably Luke Fortner's the biggest draft bust the Jaguars have had. Yeah, at least he's got to be top 5. Best rookie quarterback ever. I mean, you're looking at probably Plunkett, Manning, Stroud, and Mayfield. But Derek Carr's Plunkett, he's a second round pick. Did Baalke get Josh? Hines Allen? No, that was Colwell. That was 2019. Predictions of the upcoming quarterbacks this draft. I think Ward goes first, and then I think 2 more guys go. I don't know who they're going to be. Well, no, the way it happened was wrong. You don't retire 3 weeks before the start of the season. You don't do that. Yeah, that was wrong. Yeah, Fortner was such a bust. He got JPJ mocked all the way at 17. Yes. Like, I will say this. Baalke in the first round was not bad. Take Warner or Sanders? I think most people would at this point. But we'll see. So the Jags, do I have a good GM? Well, right now it's Ethan Waugh, and it's probably going to stay that way for the next 4 months. There was nothing in the statement that said the Jags are going to look at a new GM. Waugh's going to conduct the search for the head coach. So I'm guessing. For a player to get called a bust after the first season, have to not play. It would have to be like Isaiah Wilson or Demetrius Underwood. I'd like to try performance prior Colts go draft a quarterback. That's probably for the best of it in, because that quarterback class sucked. Well, I guess say Luck a quitter? I'd say the timing was wrong. I'd say the timing was off. I'd say the timing was way off on that one. Best Baalke selection? Ooh, best Baalke selection. I would say gotta go Brian Thomas. Especially because I doubted that one. I'd say Brian Thomas was the best selection. Brian Thomas was 3rd in receiving yards this year as a rookie. He should have made the Pro Bowl. Brian Thomas, I think by far the best selection that Baalke ever made. He kind of backed into that. It was like, okay, well, we only draft him because we lost Calvin Ridley because of my own incompetence. And then we trade back, and then we somehow get BTJ. I'm like, okay, that's actually worked out. The way people booed him after he left the field was classic. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. As every QB best player, yes, every QB in 2022 is the best player. Sorry. No, it wasn't. Look, if you go to a game, come on, if you go to a game and you get a notification on your phone at halftime of the game that your top player is now gone, and there was no announcement, of course you're booing. Of course you're booing. Of course you're booing. Right? We can't blame them for being livid. Of course you can. Of course you can. Who went offensive rookie of the year this year? It's gonna be Jaden. It's not even close. Jaden Daniels gonna win. Should have announced September early? Absolutely. Absolutely. Level the Colts kicked Payne to the curb, and then he went on to win more than Luck. Luck didn't even come close to doing that. What Payne did in Denver for 4 years. I get why they moved on. You have the number 1 pick. I get it. And generational quarterback. I get it. Why Luck tried in the first place? Injury. A lot of injuries. Fact officially saw BJ's first NFL Tutty live. Yes, second quarter. Second quarter. At least they showed him wish well after the fact. Yeah. Yeah, I can give you that. Mark Sanders must know. Sanchez, Bortles, Dale Jones, they're on that same tier of, were they worth that pick? No, but they had their moments. They had their moments. And if you're just joining us, we're going to stay on for a few more minutes. Trent Baalke fired. Very reactionary firing, but happy about it. As are all Jags fans. We don't know what on earth this is going to mean for the coaching search. If Liam Cohen will be the guy. If he pulls his hat back and pulls his name back in the ring. We don't know what this means. If they're going to go with Saleh. What we do know is that they're sticking with Ethan Waugh as the GM. Promoting from within for now. We'll see if that lasts. My guess is he's going to stay the GM for the next 4 months. Unless Cohen has a guy in mind. If Cohen has a guy in mind, then that'll happen. But for now, it's going to be Waugh as the GM. I think nothing's changing there for the next 4 months. Probably get a GM in May. Because, again, the first season, you're just using other scouts' notes. The Colts, since Luck left, Rivers, Ryan, all the script you would separate, so where they could have had 35-year-old Luck Sabona. Could have. Was firing the right move? 100%. The way they went about it was all wrong, but firing was the right move. Firing was the right move. I'll put it like this. Let's say, kicker most special position, I would say long snapper, but yeah. But kicker, yeah, kicker, 2 bad games as kicker, you're out. Cowboys, if they get more. Raiders, I think they get Monken. Cowboys stay in 10 for 2 more season. We'll see. We'll see. Unless they got the coach in waiting. But the thing with the decision to fire, it's almost like this. Let's say you're at a roulette table. You have $10,000 and you're playing roulette. You keep losing. You keep losing. People tell you, pull out. You're losing too much money. You don't have any money left. You're like, nope, screw it. I'm going to keep going. Keep losing. You keep losing. Now you have $1,000 left in your savings. And then you fire, and then you decide I'm going to walk away. Say, okay, you made the right call walking away to at least not lose everything. It never should have gone that long in the first place, but you finally did the thing you were supposed to do all along. It's just an example. Just an example. Had I fired Trent Baalke wrong? Should have fired him first Black Monday. Fire him Black Monday. Fire him Black Monday. Fire him along with Pearson Black Monday, clean house, and then you get the candidates you want. Still mock with the league? Yes, the Cohen thing was the last straw. The NFL subreddit, the NFL subreddit is a cesspool. The NFL subreddit has gone so down the drain the last few years. Moderation's terrible. Discussion's terrible. There are like posts that get banned for no reason. There's less conversation. It's a cesspool. And getting rid to links on Twitter, I think, is insane to me. Regardless of your thoughts on Twitter, if the news comes from somewhere, you post the news. You can't make yourself the hub for that and then just be like, you know what? We're going to ban links. It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense. I think it's the same subreddit that went dark for like 48 hours a few years ago in like the 2023 June because the mods were upset about something. So like, there's a reason I don't go on that subreddit anymore. It's crap. Baseball's like the only good subreddit out there right now for sports. Baseball's like the only good one. Jackson and Travis Hunter, there's no way falls to 5. No way falls to 5. Pitch corner hires? Yeah, McDaniels, it's like, for Vrabel to say, I'm not part of the old regime, so why are people concerned? And then to get someone from the old regime, it's nuts to me. Yeah, Baalke passed Hunter. He did. He did pass at him because of the Michigan feud. He passed him because of the Michigan feud. He refused to draft a Michigan player because of the feud with Harbaugh. Now, did it work? I mean, I mean, Walker's been good. Walker's been great. I'd rather have Hutch, but Walker's been great. But Hutch is better. I'm okay with allowing Blue Sky links. Yeah, it's like, you get rid of one platform, but you allow another. It's like, why? It's like, why? Yeah, it's counterproductive. Okay, go from this app to this app. It's like, come on. Yeah, NBA went through banning links to Twitter and they're worse than it. Yes, they are. Yeah, NBA, I mean, the discussion on that's crap. Baalke ruined the Niners. Will Larry survive without him? They did. Hopefully the Jaguars can. Hopefully the Jaguars can survive. Always sort of passed on Hutch by the NFL. I think Baalke was just stupid. Trevor Walker bust? No, Walker's great. No, Walker's a legitimately great player. Walker's legitimately a great player. He's not Hutchinson. But Walker is a great player. Miller third, I would laugh so hard. I would love that because that means we're guaranteed Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter. I would love that if he goes third overall. No, Trayvon Walker, he has back-to-back seasons of double-digit sacks. Back-to-back seasons of double-digit sacks. Like, he's good. Walker's a good player. Walker is a very good player. But I'd rather have Hutch. It's almost like, and obviously I'm no way comparing the two. But it's almost, what's a good, like in no way am I comparing the two. But it's almost like when the Rockets drafted Akeem Olajuwon over Michael Jordan. Obviously, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying Walker's a Hall of Famer, but like, it's almost like the Rockets, I mean, Olajuwon's great. Olajuwon was a great player for the Rockets. He wasn't Michael Jordan. That's how I feel about Walker. Great player. He's not Hutchinson. But we didn't draft Kayvon, at least. You drafted a very good player. You drafted a very good player. You just didn't draft the obvious pick at number 1. And that pick turned out to be really freaking good. Trent Baalke, one of the reasons why Michigan won a championship. Yes. Let's see. Yeah, 2 better than 1, but 1 still. Yes. Yep. He's still a starter? Who? Trevor Walker? Because he's great. Walker's great. Like, Walker is like the first alternate for the Pro Bowl this year. Not that, again, Pro Bowl, like thoughts of the Pro Bowl. Not that exactly. That means a whole lot. But Preston getting fired? Yeah, the whole coaching staff's gone. The whole coaching staff will be gone. Maybe special team stays. Special teams, I really think the Giants are the best special team team in football, so that might stay. But when the coach comes in, they're going to bring in their own staff. And there's no way whatsoever it's going to be. Will JJ start next year? Why wouldn't he? Jim McCarthy, yeah. Any college coach the Jackson would be interested in? I doubt it. I'd be very, very surprised with anything. I'd be very surprised. Not sure if Sarah's hard to go to Cleveland. I mean, if they get Abdul Carter, you trade Myles Garrett, they replace it with Abdul Carter. They could do that. Who the Jags hire now? I think it's going to be Salah still. I said from day one it's going to be Salah. I think it's going to be Salah. But man. Latest NFL team found their new coach. The Jaguars were pretty late last time. Jaguars last time with Peterson. It was like February. The Manis had been in a draft pick with Josh Hines going just before the Lions pick. Yeah. Well, the Manis I was when the Panthers took Derek Brown before the Jaguars had a chance. I was like, I really want Derek Brown before the Jags had a chance, and I screwed up with C.J. Henderson. Deion Jones to the NFL? No, I don't see it. His style doesn't work. His style does not work in the NFL. Mo Gallup a bust? No. He was a third-round pick, and he was solid. If you have 4,000 yards and you're a third-round pick, how are you a bust? Yeah, 1,000-yard season. You have about 4,000 yards. You're a third-round pick. How are you a bust? Only QBs have a chance at the Hall of Fame: Mahomes, Lamar, Allen, Wilson, Rodgers, and Dales. Not Burrow? Not Burrow? You think Jordan Love has a chance at the Hall of Fame, but not Joe Burrow? Jonathan Drifter, Jack Sawyer. They need an edge rusher. They need an edge rusher. Wait a second. I need to hear the logic here. Hang on. I need to hear the logic. You think Jordan Love has a chance at the Hall of Fame, but Joe Burrow doesn't? History says Washington Buffalo. I think history says you're going to get the Chiefs. Probably Chiefs Eagles. Brock Purdy a bust. Yes, absolutely. My God, now we're Pro Bowl. Yeah, but again, third round pick. Third round pick. Third round pick. How many third round picks make the Pro Bowl? How many third round picks make the Pro Bowl? Yeah, let's go like 2018 draft. Hang on, wait, gateway timeout. Hang on. In terms of the wide receivers in that draft, Gallup's one of the best. He's one of the better ones. And you made the Pro Bowl, yeah. But again, just because you don't make the Pro Bowl doesn't make you a bust. By that logic, Ken Riley's a bust. Ken Riley, Hall of Fame cornerback. He's a bust. Fred Taylor never made a Pro Bowl before he was an alternate. Philly Parker didn't drop out. Fred Taylor never made a Pro Bowl. First round pick. Top 10 overall. No Pro Bowls. He's a bust. Like, that's horrible logic. Look at the playoffs first 2 years. Burrow missing 3 of 5. Okay, but the team that Love took over made the NFC Championship and made the divisional round, made the playoffs every year with Rodgers. The team that Burrow took over was the worst in football. Also, Burrow's first season, he got hurt. He played only half the year. He got hurt. And the years that he was healthy, that he played, they had a winning record every year. Right, Fred Taylor made 10 Pro Bowl in 25. That is true. That is true. He would be. Jared Goff be a Hall of Famer? No. No. Not even close. Not even close. Not even close. You know, if you think that, I'm not sure. I'm not saying Burrow's going to make it, but his odds are better than Jordan Love. Ken Riley wasn't. No, I mean, no one said he's a Hall of Famer. Ken Riley was great. Ken Riley was great, but he never made the Hall of Fame. Or he never made the Hall of Fame. Jimmy Smith, Hall of Fame. He should be. You look at the numbers, from that 10-year stretch they played, the only receiver with more receiving yards was Marvin Harrison. I think there's a case. What's the bet? No, there's no bet, because I'm not saying that Burrow makes the Hall of Fame. I'm not saying that. But he's on a path. He has a better chance than Love. He has a better chance to make the Hall of Fame than Love. Like, if right now, who has a better chance to make the Hall of Fame, Joe Burrow or Jordan Love? I'm going to probably take Joe Burrow. I'd probably say Joe Burrow's got a better chance. Also, you're talking about playoff chokers. Love was crap the last game. Love's got a losing record in the playoffs. Yeah, by your own logic. By your own logic, Amana. Love is never in a Super Bowl. Burrow has. Burrow has a winning record in the playoffs. He's 5-2 in the playoffs. He's 5-2 in the playoffs. Jordan Love is 1-2. So, like, by your own logic, it contradicts itself. Similar occurs to Andre Rison. I mean, there's look. I'm not saying Smith should be in the Hall of Fame before some other guys. I'm not saying, like, obviously Torrey Holt deserves to be in before. Steve Smith deserves to be in before. JDL's top 10 correct. I go as far as saying top 5 right now. I think it's top 5. Myles Garrett Hall of Famer? Yes. Myles Garrett Hall of Famer. Absolutely. Over 100 sacks. He's got Defensive Player of the Year. That's usually enough to get you in. Defensive Player of the Year, over 100 sacks. He's in. He's in. Yeah, Torbert's gonna be the ref. Torbert's gonna be the ref. Yeah, Garrett is absolutely a Hall of Famer. I'm dead confident on that. I'm 100% confident on that. Myles Garrett, he'll probably gonna end his career with probably at least 130 sacks. Joe Hornberger, Jimmy Smith. I want to go that far. No, he did not. No, he did not. No, he did not. Come on. He did not. No, he did not. In what world did Jimmy Smith have a... In what world? By what metric did Joe Horn have a better career? Was it back Lamar Jackson? Yes, I would back Lamar Jackson. By what metric? Smith has more Pro Bowls. Again, not if that means anything. Smith has season where he led the league in receptions. Horn didn't have that. Smith, 12,287 yards. Horn, under 9,000. Smith, 67 touchdowns. Horn, 58. Smith, 862 catches. Horn, 603. There's no metric. There is no metric where Jimmy Smith had a worse career than Joe Horn. I mean, if you look at the numbers, honestly, you look at the numbers, they might surprise you with Jimmy Smith. They might surprise you. Yeah, no, J. Dillon's top 5. He's top 5. The numbers might surprise you. They really might. He's top 30 all the time. Got mono with the tour. Is Jalen Hurts a draft bust? Absolutely. Jalen Hurts is a big draft bust, and Roseman should have been fired for drafting him. Jalen Hurts is a draft bust. Absolutely. Jalen Hurts, I mean, he's only made 1 Super Bowl, a second-round pick. He's only made 2 Pro Bowls. He's only, I don't know, created the most dominant play of all time in terms of the tush push. He's only run for 55 touchdowns in 5 years, despite being a quarterback. In what world is Jalen Hurts a bust? In what universe? In what universe is Jalen Hurts a bust? Yes, of course. Yeah, I'm being sarcastic. Yeah. In what universe is Jalen Hurts a bust? J.J. Watt Hall of Fame, first ballot. He's first ballot. J.J. Watt's going to take 10 seconds to decide. Going to take 10 seconds to decide. You know, J.J. Watt, easy first ballot. 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, that's a lock. I think your last one got filtered. I said Jaden Daniels is a top 5 quarterback. He's a top 5. Look, at the time, here's the thing. At the time Jimmy Smith retired, he was 11th all-time in receiving yards. At the time Jimmy Smith retired, yeah, congratulations. Yeah, finally did it. Finally did it. How good are the Jimmy Smith should be a Hall of Famer? Right, I said Pastor Hines Ward shouldn't be. That's a good question. There's such a logjam at wide receiver. Yeah, I'll put it this way. I'm not upset if Jimmy Smith doesn't get in. Unlike Fred Taylor. Unlike Fred Taylor. There's such a logjam at wideout that Jimmy Smith, compared to some other guys, I'm fine with him not getting in. Like Henry Ellard should be in before. You say Harold Jackson should be in. You should say Steve Smith should be in. Torrey Holt. Hurts carry? No, he's not. No, he's not. But I mean, Jimmy Smith and Hines Ward, like, I feel like Smith was one of the best receivers in football at his peak, and I'm not sure Ward was like a top 3 guy. Smith was a top 3 guy in his peak. I'm not sure Ward was. Now, having said that, again, I'm not like pounding the table for Smith to make the Hall of Fame, but he's got a good case. Tiki Barber, no. He's got a very good case for the Hall of Fame. Problem is that there's such a logjam. Tiki Barber's an easy no. He's an easy no. Now, look, there are other guys that should be in before Smith in terms of wide receivers. But the guy that retired 11th all time in receiving yards by the time he retired is not a bad play. Biggest submission right now is Jim Marshall. He's up there. Ken Anderson's up there. Those 2. Roger Craig is the 3rd. The top 3 for me. Jim Marshall. Actually 4. Jim Marshall, Tommy Nobis, Ken Anderson, Roger Craig. They should all be in. They should all be in. How they're not in, I have no clue. How Roger Craig is not in. Best player in Jags history? Okay. Best peak, Tony Baselli. Best player, Fred Taylor. Fred Taylor had the best career in Jacksonville. Tony Baselli didn't play long enough to be the best player in Jags history, but his peak was the best. Our Monkey, it took forever for him to get in. Yeah, Our Monkey took a while. Yeah, it took until 2008 to get in. Vince Holmes, yes. He's going to get the biggest bust in Canada, I'll tell you that much. It took him a while to get in. Chris Carter took forever to get in. It took him until 2013, which made no sense. There are also rest Steelers members of the Hall of Fame. That doesn't count. He's getting in. Ricky Ward's not in the Hall of Fame. No, he's not in the Hall of Fame. I'm not sure he's ever getting in. Other big ones with Schottenheimer. Well, Schottenheimer never made a Super Bowl. And he had a reputation for being a playoff choker. I mean, Schottenheimer, if you let Schottenheimer, you got to let Reeves in. It's really, you can't put Reeves in and not Schottenheimer and vice versa. That one's tough. Yeah, Antonio Brown, I don't think he's ever making it in. I don't think Antonio Brown, I think the way he left. Jimmy Smith, the best player in Jags history, he's top 5. Yeah, I think it's the best player by consensus. Yes, I do think. I do think it's their best player by consensus. And Pacelli, he never gets hurt. Seaford Hall of Fame, not before Shanahan. Not before Shanahan. Definitely not before Shanahan. Yeah, it's getting better at least. Baalke's out. Again, the counts are still there, but at least Baalke is out. Who should we have for DC? You just hired a guy. You hired Golden. You hired the Notre Dame defensive coordinator. You just hired Golden. Just broke like an hour ago. You got Golden, the DC of Notre Dame. You got Al Golden. I think it's a good move. I think it's a really good move. One man takes 5 seconds for to make the Hall of Fame. I mean, you know how long the guy's gonna ramble, but I mean, it's gonna be no conversation. High point game, yes. High point game, yes. Robert Saleh's going to the Bengals. So they just hired a GM. They just hired a GM. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Joe the Two, appreciate you, man. Put Coryell and have to put Marty Reeves, Steve Pearson, Rex Ryan, Kubiak. What is the thing with Coryell? We've talked about this before. Which game do you want, Joe? Appreciate you. Coryell got in because of his contributions to changing schemes. The offense. He got in because of the offense that he ran. He got in. Don't think of him as a coach. Think of him getting in as an innovator. Think of him getting in as a contributor, as an innovator. Don't think of it as a coach. Because obviously as a coach, he doesn't have a Hall of Fame resume. We can all agree on that. We can all agree on that. That's insane censorship by the A's. Insane censorship. You heard Strike Bus from Holmes' historical library, Darius, he was a GOAT, and Love Rich with the Jags coach. With you on that one. So again, obviously we can agree, Coryell is a coach. Good coach, not a Hall of Famer. He got in because he was an innovator. Because of his contributions to the game. In terms of creating the blueprint for offense going forward. Can I have the kicking thing? I'm not entirely opposed. Honestly, I'm not entirely opposed for contributor for that. Take Marist, all right? Like, I'm not entirely, like the guy that created the first down line. Honestly, like, I'm not opposed. I'm honestly not opposed to that. We got to invent the Wildcat? No, because that was a fad. Wildcat was a one-year fad. That's different. That was a one-year fad. Eric Coryell was like, people still use that offense. That was an unheard of offense for them. People still use that offense. Coryell changed the game with that. Coryell changed the game. Ron Torrance in the Super Bowl? Not a fan on that one. And Cleve Blakeman, I hate Cleve Blakeman. I hate Cleve Blakeman. Yep, you can be the Jags team and suck for 5 years and be still fine, yes. Be in off innovation. Honestly, you could make a case for Buddy Ryan. You could make a case for the 4-6 defense that Buddy Ryan deserves it as an innovator. Robert Baalke, do you see Congo now for that storyline? I think it's going to stay in Detroit. I don't see him going anywhere else. I think he's going to get promoted. Why hit Blakeman? Well, Clay Blakeman was the referee for the 2017 AFC Championship game. Clay Blakeman was the referee of the 2017 AFC Championship. So I think that's a pretty good reason to not be a fan of Blakeman. Rank every ref? I do not know off the top of my head. You could make a case for Buddy Ryan. You really could. We opened the floodgates with Coryell. You could make a case for the 4-6 defense and the innovations he made defensively. You could make a case. Wes Welker, Julian, best go-to receiver for Brady, Wes Welker. High point game is at 7 o'clock. So we're going to set the stream, and I'll go live for that at like 6:53. He was also the Lions backer. Yeah, Quinn Blake was involved in a lot of controversy, which definitely would not create a toxic environment on everything. Least bad NFL head ref. I like Lan Clark. Clark's pretty good. Ed Hockley going as ref contributor? Yes. We let McAnally in. I think he should be in, yes. Yeah, Welker semi-close, yeah. Gruden, he's got nothing left in the tank. Yeah, Vinovich was the official for 2018 NFC Championship. Whereas weird too, because Vinovich, like, was a solid ref. And they just had the crappiest call ever. The crappiest call ever. No rest in peace to Chris. No rest in peace to that. Sheffers and Clay Martin. Both bad. Both bad. Feel like as terrible as refs may have the reputation for? He was really bad. Yeah, no. Luck was really bad. Seems to be Hall of Fame just for his defense coordinators. Not before Dick LeBeau, then. Not before Dick LeBeau. Hiring Lou a good choice? Yes. He was a good DC. Since the problem was obviously you lost your safety. You lost Jesse Bates. And then you lose Bates, and then the whole defense falls apart. So you need a good safety in Indy. If you get a good safety, you're fine. You get a good safety. You're okay. Hill's fine. Hill's fine. Hill is more than fine. Yeah, feel like it. What? No, I think the icon's Jeff Triplett. I think Jeff Triplett's the worst one. Guy's name is Trey without a Y. The ref that flagged the player for making a move that was unnecessary and unlike football. Oh, they gave him the business ref? Oh. I don't remember who that one was. Blaney Collier? That's a borderline one. That's a very borderline one that I'm not opposed to. He was a great coach. Worst call to hurt the Jags, worst call to help the Jags. Worst call to hurt the Jags, Miles Jack wasn't down. It's probably the worst call to hurt the Jags. Or the pass interference on Boye. That was not PI. Worst call to help the Jaguars in a game. I think this past season, definitely the Baalke fumble. I also say 2015 against the Ravens. Did they get set in time? I'm not sure. But I mean, I thought they got set in time. But worst call hurt the Jags. Also, Jaguars Bills in 2015 in London. That also was one of the best calls helped the Jags. Brian Walters got DPI penalty that he drew that there was no contact. Which ref did every Jags game this season? I don't know. Mark Lofton, the Arizona Super Bowl. He's close. He's the best refs. Well, you have to remember too. Jesse Bates, best safety, top 3 safety. You have to remember too with the 80s. There were not a lot of angles back then. You now have angles with replay. Back then, 80s production was not that good. So, you didn't see a whole lot of angles, reverse angles, slow motion. So, when a referee called a penalty, you didn't see a replay of it. You didn't see a replay. You didn't see the replay of the penalty. You didn't see the 10,000 cameras. Now you do. That definitely skews things a little bit. At least Levy admitted that he reffed a bad game. At least Levy took accountability. Too little, too late, but at least took accountability like, oh, I blew this one. At least he took accountability with that one. At least he did. All right, I got to get ready for the High Point stream. So, again, tonight in 40 minutes, we're going to be live for High Point against USC Upstate. They'll be live for GeoGuessr. Hernandez, Harbalump. Thank God he's gone. Challenge flags back in the air without instant replay? No, they were not. Without instant replay, there were no challenge flags. Challenge flags weren't a thing until the late 90s. The first time was just everything gets reviewed. If there's a close play, everything gets reviewed. So, yeah. So, appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, Baalke out. A lot to talk about there. I'll have a JJ coming out soon on that. But we're going to see what happens there. So, appreciate you guys tuning in. Trent, Baalke out. See you guys in 40 minutes for the High Point stream. Thank you guys again. JG9 signing off. I'll see you guys soon.